let's start our today's session. Yes, so today's session is a very important session because we are going to talk about the importance of book cover and why the professional book cover design matters, right? So it's there is a saying which says that don't judge a book by its cover, but fortunately or unfortunately, we all do judge a book by its cover. So it's not about buying I'm talking, but generally if you're just scrolling on in a bookstore and if some book cover attracts you, what do? You just grab the book and try to read what is inside the book. Even in on Amazon platform, when you are just scrolling the Amazon platform in your genre or some books that you are interested in, what attracts you first instant is the book cover, because that is the first thing that we as a reader notices and which attracts us to go further into the page of Amazon, or if you are on in an offline store, to grab the book and just open and flip through the pages. So book cover is very, very, very important aspect in the publishing process, and we need to be very, very, very careful when we reach to this stage in designing a book cover, because if the book cover is good, then half battle is won, wherein in terms of attracting the readers towards you, then the other aspect comes into picture, that your about author, about book, or inside the content of the book, how attractive it is, do you have reviews or you don't have reviews on your Amazon page. So that comes later on, but the first thing is you need to entice the readers towards you, towards your book, towards your book page, right? So today we are going to talk in detail when you are designing a book cover, what things you need to keep in mind, and why professional book design is important, right? So I'm not saying that book cover can be done by you, it would not be good, but you need to be very careful in giving this particular baby of yours to someone else. And when you're transferring the work, what all thing you need to take care in your mind when you're talking to your publisher or you're talking to your designer in terms of designing the book cover. And for that, I have called a very important person who in and out deals with talking to authors, understanding their requirements, then suggesting them the book title, suggesting them the subtitle and the book covers. So in and out, day and night, 24 by 7, he is talking to authors, talking to them about the concept of the book. So today with me, we have Dr. Kailash Pinjani, and he is an international book coach. Not only in India, he trains people all across the globe in Dubai, Bahrain, Saudi, Philippines, Singapore, US, Canada. So a lot of authors he is interacting and in touch base with, and making guiding them to write book, how to publish the book, and ultimately how to reach to the audience, maximum audience as far as possible. So let's welcome Dr. Kailash Pinjani. Welcome you today to our meeting. And we are looking out for guidance, what exactly we need to take care once our manuscript is ready and we move to the stage of designing or formulating a book cover. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Monica, for calling me here for specifically discussing towards the book cover. If you ask me, your book journey is successful if a lot of people read it. I have seen a couple of books which are wonderfully done, but it has not reached to the masses. People are not even aware that this book exists. And that's a pain for an author to do it. That means what we are saying is, even after your book writing journey is done, still the fortune for your book lies in the hand of readers. Now, if we display our book, whether it's on Amazon store, it could be on a portal, it could be a website, or it could be a bookstore, wherever. your book would be judged by your book cover for sure. Whatever we say, unfortunately, human mind and human psychology works in a way where we love to give judgments, we love to give stories to things. And unfortunately, these are externally triggered, not internally triggered. And we also call it human psychology. Also, you must have learned a concept called NLP, neuro linguistic programming. So all those concepts, if I pick it together, put into a book cover journey, the success goes higher. Let me give you an example why this is so important to decide a very, very strategic book cover. I will also be showing you a couple of covers, 7, 8 covers, and explaining you how we design the cover. Now, these covers are designed specifically for the need of author, need of a story. So you cannot just copy paste what they have done. It has to be done personalized strategy for you. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you're walking on the road. I'll tell you how psychology works on an external factor. And suddenly you see that one newspaper ka tukda, one small newspaper is lying on the road, and you touch the foot on this newspaper, and you what do you feel? You feel nothing. But suddenly, with air, this flips, and you see it's your country's flag, other side. So one side is the newspaper, other side is the country flag, and suddenly you start feeling bad. Oh, it's the same paper. You touched a foot too by mistake. You were not aware. But one side is just simple newspaper. Other side, when it because of air it flips, you see your country's flag is there. You feel bad. What happened? It's a paper end of the day. So always remember we have stories. That means once it's a newspaper, it's a different story in your mind. And once it becomes your country's flag, then patriotism comes in and the different story comes in. That means your emotions are triggered from outside. How many of you believe that? What I'm saying? You're with me, right? Your emotions, how will you think about something? It's triggered from outside, not from inside. Unfortunately or fortunately, the way we think, the way we act, we feel that we are unbiased, logical people. But if you understand hypnosis, neuro linguistic programming, if you understand the human mind, you will understand we all are biased people. We all are being controlled by external factors and powers, and that's how we act. Now, I want to bring this point in terms of book cover. Now, let's say you're walking in a bookstore. In the bookstore, like a crossword, for an example, or Borders in Dubai, or Kinokuniya in Japan, or Dubai. You're walking in a bookstore. A good bookstore would easily would have 100,000 different titles, which is A-class copies of different books. It's a big store, and you are going there to buy 2, 3 books. So how human psychology works? So you will go to first to the section what you like. So entire bookstore is divided into sections: fiction, philosophy, management. So people can find books easily. Once you end up into that section which you want to buy a book. Let's say I want to read a story and I'm in a fiction book section. There are a lot of books. In front of my eyes, let's say 100 books will come over in the specific section. And out of 100 books, I will pick 1 or 2 books in my hand, or 3, 4 books in my hand, to see whether I should buy this book or not. We're talking about humans buying psychology for books. Now, out of those 100 books in front of me, which books would I pick up in my hand? Where the cover resonates with me. It's very simple. Whatever cover I see that resonates, I pick up the book. If cover does not resonate, I would reject that cover immediately. I don't pick up the book. So cover decides whether someone will pick up your book in the hand or not. Once they pick up, then there are a couple of other factors which we put in, a lot of other factors we put in to make sure that these covers are done. These covers are so powerful that we decide to buy that book. There are other factors. Now, if we talk about book covers, before that, I would like to talk about bifurcation of cover. So cover is divided into 4 parts. Okay. First is the title of your book, the name of your book. Second comes in your front cover. Third comes in your back cover. And fourth comes in, it's called spine. Spine. Okay. The spine is what? When you keep a book into a book rack, you see the thickness of the book. That's called book spine. So in the cover, there are 4 types of things we're going to discuss. Let's talk about first thing first is a book title. Now, a lot of people decide to have difficult titles, which I don't recommend. I won't recommend you to have a difficult titles. Have a simple title, straightforward titles. If the title is straightforward and simple, people would love to open that book and see what is this book all about. So don't give difficult titles. It should talk directly the theme of the book, whatever theme you have. As well as there are a lot of tools to decide the title. You can also use today Chat GPT for deciding a book title. Don't use Chat GPT to write a book because Amazon is banning these days books which are written on Chat GPT. They have tools to identify if the book is created by any AI tool. But name is okay. You can define a name. You can take help of Chat GPT, or there are a lot of tools. Even a lot of companies have their own tools, like Superfast Author, who does book writing workshops. They also have a tool to teach you to give you a good title. Now, in title, also there are 2 parts in the front cover. That's the title and the subtitle. Now, does subtitle necessary? No, not necessary. Subtitle is only required when the title is not clear. Like, I'm an author myself. I've written 3 books. One of my book is called Date Your Clients. When my name of book is Date Your Clients, that means my title says that you should be dating your client, but it's not a good title. It's not a straight title, rather. It's a confusing title. I'm not saying go and date your client. So I have to have a subtitle if my title is not clear. Like, my subtitle is uh, Win High Value Deals from Dating Principles. So I'm giving more clarity to a reader from the cover. What is this book all about? I have another book called Decoding Fitness. Now, if you look at Decoding Fitness, I don't have a subtitle in that. It's very simple. It's straightforward. Decoding Fitness. That means if you want to be fit, you want to know how to, be fit. Read this book. Simple idea. So when your title is not clear, you need a subtitle. But if your title is clear, go for a direct title. So title has to be simple. Always remember. Then there are a lot of negative titles, like What CEOs Don't Know, and very powerful book by Mark Manson is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving the Fuck. That's the name of the book. That's a very negative connotation title. I won't recommend you to go for it because it also attracts a lot of criticism. Yes, it is attractive. People would love to see what's this book all about. But a lot of people, the book lovers are sober people. So again, I'm talking about human psychology. Most of book lovers are sober. So they don't like to have book in the hand which talk the taboo words in their hand. So they don't like to share. And they may not recommend this book to a lot of other people. Your book sale happens a lot because of someone is recommending a book. Remember your last book purchase. You bought a book because someone recommended it. So we have to make sure that book has been recommended. By once someone reads, he should recommend. So in title, we should have a simple title, straightforward, like Decoding Fitness, straight title. No problem. Everything is clear. Date Your Clients, Catch the Shark. I've written another book called Catch the Shark. Catch the Shark means a book on fishing. It's not clear. So I have a subtitle to the Catch the Shark book also. It's called Get Your Startup Ready for $1 Million Investment. Okay, that's the subtitle. I'm just saying it's for investment. It is inspired from Shark Tank, not from fishing. But I won't recommend to go for these ZZ titles. Go for a straight title, simple title. That's part 1. Now let's talk about the front cover. I see a lot of people put everything on the front cover. Remember, there is something called minimalism or a negative space. The more negative space you have the cover, it will suit to your eyes. If you look at the history of design, and a lot of people say Google got a lot of success as a search engine because Google's design is very simple. In the white background, they have a search bar called whatever you want to search and put a search and Google logo, simple. That's called minimalistic designs. So I personally recommend minimalistic design. Do not put too much idea or content on the cover. Don't put everything. Don't put a collage or something where you are showing a lot of things. Try to show a theme of a story and to build suspense. If you're writing a fiction book, you need to build suspense, and that's how you can do it for cover. I'll show you the covers and we're going to discuss this looking at the covers. And second is, if you're writing a non-fiction book, then I would recommend to have an author's photograph directly. You are the brand, because you non-fiction authors would like to become an author to become a brand faster. So put your photograph. So I'm going to show you a couple of covers, and through covers, I'm going to discuss a couple of points. Let me open my folder for covers, which I have created to show you. I worked, by now, I have worked more than 1500 cover design strategies. Today, I picked up 7 for you to understand the what could be the good covers. Now, this is my cover folder, which I have find for you. Now, okay, this is the one. So let me open first non-fiction covers. So let me open a cover of a author called Shivali Tandon. Is my Shivali Tandon cover visible? Not, I don't think so. Let me reshare my screen. Let me share an entire screen. Okay. So this is one of the author called Shivali Tandon, which I have helped her design a cover. Now again, I said I love minimalistic covers. Okay. Now this is a minimalistic cover because you see a lot of negative space. You see a lot of white in the background. That's called negative space. Right. Now, second, I always recommend when if you are writing non-fiction book, you should have author's photograph. Now, in the author photograph also, you have to see that you are giving a power pose. So this is a power pose. It's like a queen's chair, very powerful chair, and this is very powerful pose she's giving, and with a serious face, not a serious face, but it's very, very thinking face that I'm thinking right now. If you see name of the book, which says Secrets Revealed for Extraordinary Success, and the different colors are given to make sure that this book talks about multi-angle approach. And if you see X is designed differently. Secret ka color is given different color. Extraordinary font is different. So see the angles in typography. Secrets font is different. Color is different. Revealed for Success font is same but different color. Extraordinary is a different font. So you play around with the fonts and the color of the font to showcase the concept of the book. Now, if you see the name of the author is written in a gold color. If you look at the actual print, it's a gold embossing. So it's a gold color. Why gold? Because gold shows the premiumness. Every color has a history or a story. So we are talking about here. We are talking about premiumness. That's how we have designed her front cover. I'll talk about back cover. I have picked up her book specifically for a specific reason for back cover. But if you look at this front cover alone here, you see a lot of negative spaces there, which is plain white. We could have put in a person with a trophy in hand and medal in wearing medal or something. But that would go very, very difficult. So I don't recommend you to go for too many options. Now let me show you another. Let me show you another cover for non-fiction book, but there's no photograph in the front. But see how thoughtful the cover is. Let me show you the cover. Okay, now the book is called Unmasking the Real You. Unmasking the Real You, the journey from awareness to self-action. Now you look at the cover photograph. See, first thing is I always love negative space. What is a negative space? There's a lot of emptiness in the cover. Because when you have emptiness, it give me ease to think. Something is cluttered and something is ease. So this is ease. Second thing you see,
It's awesome.
uh, the way you see this front image, you'll see the U, specifically word U, and center of word O is like someone is entering into a tunnel. Okay. Now U is created with a tunnel because it's a real U is what you're finding for. Now you see the birds. Birds represent calmness. Okay, this again calmness is giving. And if you see the cover, a person is removing his own mask. So there are two masks. There's one person is white. White is like we use white or pale white color as a pure soul color, and the blue is the mask, like which is blue is the color represents for official color or color of corporate. So most of people wear a lot of corporate. I'm a CEO and I'm a general manager and I'm that. So what this author is saying, remove that mask. See with the simplest form how the cover is being designed and talks about the concept of the book. Back cover I'm going to talk about. Okay, let's focus on front cover right now. So this is another cover where you see negative space and the concept is designed in a way that if someone looks at it, his soul will say that I want to read this book. Another thing, if you see the typography, we have used blue and gold color combination in giving the shadow impact. Why? Though the word is unmasking, but we want to focus on mask. This is called very, very small element of psychological design. Very, very small psychological design. Though the word is saying unmasking, but the focus, the way the color combination is says about mask. That's the power of the playing around with typography. The way the typography is done. That's another my favorite cover which we have designed and strategized. Another thing I want to talk about, if you look at his logo, a lot of people have their own logos. So we have picked up the color of his logo, which is a little yellow green in the masking. So we also try to see if a person has done some background work on their brand creation. They have a logo, they have a specific style. So we use those styles also to inline. So that's another powerful cover, which I like. Now I didn't pick up too many non-fiction book. I want to show you a fiction book again. There's another book we are designing right now. It's called Royally Destined to Be With You. Okay, now let's look at the front cover. Now, if you look at the front cover here, what do you see? Minimalism is there. Yeah, it is minimalism. Minimalism is there. You see, this space is minimalistic. Even curtains and all those is minimalistic. And you see, there is a sun beach sunset happening, and two people, they look like lovers. So it always says that this book is something about love, right? We used color purple because color purple is again used for premiumness. Anything which you want to design for royalty, when you want to see royal blood. So purple is a royal color. So we use color royal to show a lot of royalty in the book. And lover, and then if you go down and there's a silk sheet and silk pillow, also represents a lot of deep love. Now, if you go down, you see a crown of a queen. What does that represent? That means it is, and book name also says royally destined. That means it cover says that something related to royal story of kings and queen would be there. And you know, from childhood, we love listening to stories of kings and queens. Ek tha raja, ek thi rani. Dono mar gaye khatam kahani. Okay. So I'm just kidding. But remember that, you know, every small element in the cover is represent. Now, we wanted to make people curious and we wanted to create more suspense. So if you look at the back cover, we have shown a little castle. There's a revolver, and now this purple sheet becomes the white sheet because we wanted to show blood and the red rose. You know, if any person who loves reading, if I show them a cover, they will start sensing the story. And that is what the meaning of the book cover is. We want to attract, without people reading the book, we want to attract people to showcase covers to them. And that's how we designed this specific cover. Wonderful cover. Use of golden color and purple color to show royalty. And gun and blood is to show crime or some suspense thriller. And front is more towards royalty and love. Okay, that's how we are representing things in this cover. Now let me show you another cover on. Okay, this is another cover. This is called Secrets Untold. Okay, there's a girl. Now this is a very young author. Her age is I think 8 years. Now she has written a story. Now if you look at let me not tell you the story. When you look at the Secrets Untold, and there is a Untold we used again typography. T we converted as a key. So that means this untold is a word, but key is told. So it's a combination of both the words together. The way unmasking and mask we were using, here, we are using the key for untold. And there's a girl in the red cape and looking at the red dark shadow. And you see a bat here in the corner. What does bat represents? It says something horror, haunting must be there, because bat represents haunting, horror things. And that's how this talks a lot. Now, again, you look at the negative space. This cover also has a lot of negative space. It's not cluttered cover. This entire front top is negative space, down is negative space. There's no cluttering happening here. Let me show you another cover. Now, this is another cover called Colin the Savior. Now, again, this is a author who was inspired from mangas. You know, mangas are very popular. Comic novels are these days popular from Japan, and this is more of manga version. So he said, you know, anyone who loves manga would love my book. That was author's description to us. So we thought, okay, if you want to give a touch of mangas, which is from Japan, then we use this character specifically to represent that manga style. And if you manga is also about fight and this samurais, again you see the power of the typography. Colin the is written in white, savior is in yellow, and you see the samurai is in the center. So we play around a lot of with typography. What does that? So the name of the book, the way it is written, is also design. It's not just a typographic thing. So there are a lot of things happens in the background, and if you see the background, is a big city is being shown. So that means says this is a scene of a city, story of a boy who's a fighter. That's what cover says. You have not read a book, but you still need to know entire thing from this cover. Again, look at the negative space. You see front half cover is all plain space. Background down half we have used some caricatures to do it. Now let me show you another cover of author which I love, and then we'll talk about back covers. It's called Divination. Okay. Divination, a writer, a villain, which role leads to survival? That's the subtitle. Now, if you see, first look at the negative space. See how much negative space this particular cover has. So we give a lot of importance to negative space because that gives you comfort. Second is a writer, a villain, which leads to survival. That means it's a story of a writer. And that is why we shown a person sitting on the book and looking at a shaitan, a devil. Okay, a devil, something hidden. And you see in the center, there's some architecture has been created just to give suspense more. Red color also triggers a lot of suspense feeling because this color represents the blood. So that's how we use this specific color. Even if you see, the subtitle is being used as a red color because we wanted to use a lot of red color to trigger the suspense emotion. I will talk sometime later, but there's something called when you write a book or when you design covers, you need to make sure two hormones should be released, dopamine or oxytocin. Okay, so it's not just designing a brochure or something, you'd go and just design it. This is the face of your book. A book which is going to survive more than 100 years. It will be there when you die. The book will still be there. So we have to think very, very deep designing every cover. But again, couple of things, play around with typography. You see here, because the writer, the font has been used of typography. Second is a lot of negative space, and book should trigger suspense if it is a fiction book. Now that's how we talk a lot of things about front cover. Now let me talk about the back cover. So you got the couple of things to remember in the front cover. One is negative space, playing around with typography, creating more suspense. If you're writing a fiction, suspense. If you're writing a non-fiction, you have to trigger the brand value. Or fiction, then suspense. That's the thing you remember. Now, how buying psychology is, I look around in the bookstore. I like a front cover. I pick up a book. Second thing I look at after the front cover is a back cover. If I like the back cover, I open a book, read an index. If I like an index, I read a couple of pages and buying happens. So buying decision is taken in around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Out of that, maximum impact is created by the front cover. Now let's talk about the back cover. Let me talk again, fiction, non-fiction, both style of covers. Let me share my screen. Now let me talk about the non-fiction covers. Now this is my book, Date Your Clients. Okay. Now let me talk about front cover also. So if you see a lot of negative space, why do you see I have a very casual clothes? Because it's book on dating. If you see date yours, the font is very, very stylish because this is about dating. Clients is very classy. So we play around lot of things with typography and then front cover. Now I want to talk about back cover here. Now back cover is very simple. It is about the author and about the book. Simple. About the book and about the author. Those are two things which we write generally in the non-fiction books. But the second style I want to show you in the non-fiction book is called testimonials. Okay. Now you look at the testimonial of this particular cover. So this book is called Well Done, You Are Hired. I'm not going to talk about front cover. We have done a lot. If you see, the praise of the book is given on the back cover. So let me read who has given the praise. Dr. Devanand Shinde, Vice Chancellor Shivaji University, Dr. Deepak Tilak, Vice Chancellor Tilak Maharashtra University, Dr. Samya Rajan, Regional Director Pune National Institute of Open Schooling, Dr. Vasant Shinde, Deccan College, Dr. Parikshit Singh Manhas, Director School of Hospital Tourism, Dr. Mahesh Karad, Executive President, MIT Arts and Design Technology, and then Ganesh Vaidyanathan, and he is retired corporate professional motivational speaker. Okay. Now, when someone buys a book, look at the back cover, they will read a lot of positive things about these personalities, and buying decision becomes easy. It's like a review. Someone is giving about review about your book in the back cover, selling is simple. But getting these people talking about you is very, very difficult. I'm a consultant to Golden Ink publication. With my experience, I bring in a lot of power to our authors. So what we have done now, we have created another style of back cover for all of you, is testimonials provided by us. So, as I said, I've worked with more than 30,000 authors by now. I have helped design 1,000 plus covers, front and back. So I have a lot of friends who are best-selling authors. And you see four of us here. Deepak is here, I am here, Manika is here, Mulli sir is here. So what we do, getting testimonial from others are very, very difficult. So what we do is, from our team and my kitty of authors, I talk to people and get you the testimonials. So getting testimonial is our job on the back cover, not yours. But this is only provided in a premium publishing packages, not in a simple publishing package. It's more of a branding. Okay, it's like Shivali, when we were designing back cover, she took a premium package. So I said, okay, let me give it to you. Now, let me talk about Mugda's back cover. Okay, let's talk about this cover. Now, in this back cover, we decided that, we don't want to use power of words. We have heard that an image is equal to 1,000 words. We have heard that quote, right? So we said, let's talk through images, not through words. So we use 1.5 page, front and half back, only talk through images. And we have not spoken about the author here. We only are speaking about the book. And when you talk about the back cover and the back cover, don't give them what is the story. Create suspense. Create suspense. I mean, you see the question, suspense comes through questions. If you see the question, how far will you go to protect his love? And how much is he willing to lose? So there are a lot of questions. Those questions would trigger a lot of powerful suspense. Let me show you another back cover, which I like a lot is, so this is a normal back cover, which we talk, talk about, this is also a young kid, age 12, and about book and about author. And if you have a logo, we use color of logos to combine. Now, let me talk about the last thing is spine. What is spine? So let me open my book. So if you see the center part of it, it's called spine. Center is called spine. Now, in the spine, on the spine, you generally need to give the name of the book, name of the author, name of the publisher, and if you have a logo, put it that name. A lot of people, when they have a big names, it's very difficult to put everything here. So all the names are small, so it's simple. But if the name is very, very big, you may have to go away with something. So if you have to go away, I would recommend go away with name of author, allow the name of book to be there on the spine. Spine is simple. Another precaution I want you to keep it in a spine when you are getting your cover design is, do not have a different color on the spine. So a lot of people make this mistake is when they design a cover, front cover would be, and back cover, like, let me give an example. Like my front cover is black, back cover is black, and I can do spine in purple color, entire spine in purple color, because I am using purple as a color in date and couple of places. I don't recommend that. You know why? because while printing, the precision of spine is very difficult. I'm not saying it is impossible, it's difficult. So if my spine is a different color, then it's a big problem for my printer to set it up. And even spine goes 1 millimeter here and there, the book doesn't look good, it look very shabby. So I do not recommend you to go for a different color on the spine. Only use the same front and back cover, color on the spine. So even printer is, your printers guys are not very professional because they are labor class. So even they are using their hand scales or something to fold the cover. Even they made a 1 millimeter mistake, it doesn't make your book bad. So that's how, what we do is we design front cover, back cover, spine, name, of all those things. So now I know a lot of you would have a different concept. Like, someone would have a fantasy book, someone would have a book on crime and different topics. As I said, this concept I'm showing you how we design those concepts. Even if I show you one of the few of the best covers, you cannot still use it because your story is a unique story. So when you are designing a cover, remember your cover will make it or break it for your book. It is very important factor for your book's success. Don't give it in wrong hands. Don't give it into shabby hands. What I feel is, a lot of people would write one book, two book, three books in a lifetime. It's not that you write one book every year or one book every month. These are the projects which are dream projects. Specifically, your first book project is a dream project. It's like a marrying. So don't look for saving 5, 7, 10,000 here and there. Go for a good publisher. Thank you very much for everyone for joining in.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kailash, for giving us insights about such an important aspect of our book publishing journey, that is the book covers, and moreover taking us through the titles and everything. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have taken notes regarding the same. So some of you are still in the writing process, so this stage will come up wherein you need to give extra importance on this particular aspect of book covers. So please keep a note that when the book cover thing comes up, or what all things you need to keep in mind, and people who are already there at that process. So I hope you have taken notes of that, and I hope that you apply those concepts, have a wonderful book coming out to the market for the reader, so that the reader can get inspired from the book and you have the power to change life. So thank you very much for joining today's session.